I remember my first day as it is today. I was just a little seed under the ground. It was a dark, wet place. I felt I was in a mother's womb because it was kind of my birthplace. I remember that I looked forward to seeing the ground surface. I was really wondering what's waiting me there outside. But till that day, I had to wait my roots growing around me and make me stronger day by day. It wasn't easy to wait, but finally I did my time under there and I poked my head out of the ground. And there it was. An endless blue sky, beautiful shiny sunlights, a river flowing calmly. It was a spectacular picture of nature. Then I realized that I was going to be a part of that picture. I felt very happy and proud about it. In the next couple of days, I realized that I wasn't the only one. There were other poplar trees like me. One day, we learned that a farmer planted our seeds along the river because of an old Anatolian tradition. According to that tradition, when a baby is born in a village, the family plants poplar trees in their yards. When the girl and the boy decide to marry, they cut the trees. They sell them and use the money for wedding expenses, or they use it as fun for setting up a business. Yeah, it's the sad part of the story, as you see. Anyway, let's skip that part for now and go on to the story. In the next couple of years, I grew fastly. We poplar trees grow faster than the other trees. I was a small, ugly seed, but I changed rapidly. I returned to a beautiful, long, thin tree from a little seed. It is really amazing, I think, isn't it? I look at myself and I see a beautiful tree with beautiful leaves now. Speaking of leaves, you should see them especially in spring when they're swaying back and forth in the wind. One side of me leaves is green and the other side is white. Imagine that white-green leaves dancing with the wind. Isn't it charming? Wind and me. We are a good couple, not only for the beautiful green-white view, but also for the melodious song of my leaves. People call it whistle. It's a very relaxing sound, especially in spring and summer. Lots of birds come and perch on my branches. You should listen to that sound in that time. Birds' tweets mix up with my leaves and the river's voices. This is the most peaceful and calming voice, I think. Because of our long and thin bodies, even in a weak wind, we swing. Actually, there's a Turkish saying because of that, swinging poplar winds on someone's head. It's called have windmills in one's head in English. Turkish people use that for young, irresponsible, irresolute people who give up something easily. We poplar trees also inspire a lot of poets and singers, like the other trees or the other members of nature. Actually, there are lots of beauties in the nature if people want to see it. But most of them don't have the time they enjoy that kind of deliberate things, unfortunately. In autumn, or our leaves drop. People think that this season and the dropped leaves are so romantic. They like walking around the yellow leaves hand in hand. They sometimes scratch their names on our trunk. It's a nostalgic tradition and be continued by the young couples who live in villages. I think being a part of their memories is a very nice thing. These spiritual benefits aren't the only benefits of us. We are also an insurance of fields against the water and wind erosion and against the floods. In May and June, we spread our conqueror's seeds around our side. They look like pollens, but they're not. They're harmless actually, but people, especially in cities, think that the seeds are harmful and they cause environmental pollution. Because of this, a couple of years ago, in some cities like Ankara, Istanbul, the government forbid planting poplar trees around the city centers. Moreover, they cut the trees around there. I think it's so cruel. But people always behave the nature that way. They behave like they own the nature instead of being a part of it. There is an incredible balance of nature, but people always try to destroy it for their profits. As a tree, for example, I'm a part of that balance. Being friends with birds and rivers, being a part of people's lives and sharing their memories are awesome. Being alive is awesome. But it's not going to continue in that way. I know that. In a couple of years, they're going to cut and sell me. For what? Money. Yeah, this is the most important thing for people for a long, long time. There is a Cree Indian saying, when the last tree is cut down, the last fish eaten, and the last stream poisoned, You will realize that you cannot eat the money. I hope people will realize the truth before it's too late for our world. This is my only wish as a part of that beautiful nature.